and welcome back to Praggers Gaming. I'm Gamer Praggers, and this is Citizen Sleeper. I don't even know why I was thinking Empire, but no, this is Citizen Sleeper. At the end of the last episode, I left it on a bit of a cliffhanger. Dick move, I know, but it made me chuckle. We are in Compressor, speaking to Ethan, trying to get him off our back. He is a little worse for wear. He stood up to square up to us, but dropped his gun. We have picked it up, and that is where we pick up. I did ask for opinions on which way to go. I didn't get any, so it is going to be down to me. And I kind of feel that we are a good guy, fairly honest, so we are going to hand Ethan the gun back. You slap the handle of the gun back in Ethan's hand. Thank you, he hisses. Now, where was I? He lazily swings the gun past you and the bartender. Yes. Leaving. He stands. Sleeper, while this has been fun, I think I've wrung every last drop out of this place. Time to go home. He waggles the gun towards the door. Let's go see S&R. No. Ethan brings his gun hand to his face and rubs his eye. Well, he says, the bounty pays half, but he levels the gun. Up to you. And he pulls the trigger. The gun clicks. By now, all the attention in the bar is on you and Ethan, who looks at his gun with a bemused expression. The bartender raises an open hand, and in it are 10 shiny bullets. 10 shiny bullets he took out of Ethan's gun while he was asleep on the bar. Ethan smiles at him. Oh well, he says, and hits you in the head with the butt of the gun. You stagger back and drop to a knee. Somewhere nearby, the gun clatters onto a surface. The hit's a glancing blow, but it makes your vision swim. Through the blur, you see Ethan wrestle a small, thin slate from his belt and hold it up. Enough of this. I'm logging the job and calling it in. Ethan taps on the slate. No more playing. Your head aches. Ethan taps through a few screens impatiently. He swears and taps again. He starts shouting, a dull echo to your ringing ears. He starts screaming at the slate and throws it across the bar. He crouches down and grabs you by the chin, his face close, his breath heavy with drink. S&R just screwed me. He grins manically. They cancelled the contract. He stands up. They cancelled the contract! He shouts at the ceiling of the compressor. You stand up, struggling to your feet, the sting of the hit fading. Ethan is rubbing his temples, his face pale. You hear a clicking sound, like coins being counted, like bullets being loaded into a magazine. When you shake off the last of the blur, the bartender has Ethan's pistol trained on Ethan's head. Ethan stumbles back towards the middle of the room, all eyes trained on him. I'll kill all of you! He screams. He stumbles into the wall, spinning away towards the door. I'll be back for that, he shouts at the bartender and lunges out of the compressor. You steady yourself on the bar and catch your breath. The rumble of conversation returns. The bartender goes to say something, but then thinks better of it and begins to clean the bar. After a while, you wander out into the light of the bright market, looking for Ethan around every corner. Okay. Ethan may be disarmed, but you doubt you've seen the last of him. So what's that? That's 8 cycles. Wow. That was a bit tense, wasn't it? But I'm happy with the outcome. Right, we have one more thing to do. Harden. It's been more than a few cycles since Feng confronted Harden, and the silence since has been noticeable. In your time with Feng, you haven't exactly found him to be reliable, but you did expect to hear the end of whatever plan he put into action. But if he won't come to you, you think as you approach the Havenage building, then it's time to come to him. After all, he did promise to fix your tracker, and you are getting nervous. As you approach the bay doors, you see them wide open and light pouring out of the once dark room. Stacks of servers and terminals sit outside the bay, suddenly robbed of their mystery by the bright flood lamps. A figure in Havenage security fatigue steps out of the bay as you get closer, carrying a stack of hardware. As you get closer, you see the security officer tapping up machines from Feng's stash with what looks like hazard tape. This isn't good. You again! Harden is there, leaning beside the bay entrance so calmly that you barely noticed him. He has a slate in his hand, an inventory of seizures scrawled across it. Predictable. Further evidence of Feng's collusions. You see another security officer come out of the bay and take notice of you. Where is he? Feigning ignorance, or perhaps just abandoned? Harden shakes his head. I believe you should choose your conspirators more wisely. I almost feel sorry for you. Harden pushes away from the wall and comes closer. Don't worry, Sleeper. We have all the evidence we need. A confession won't be necessary. He gestures around the stacks, at the stacks of hardware. Spying on fellow Havenage members, hoarding Solheim materials, an obsession with corporate data. It speaks for itself, does it not? It tells you nothing. We will see what the council has to say about that. He looks up at the glass roof above and the stars beyond. We are the ones that provide the oxygen you breathe in, the light you're seeing, the systems you use every day to live out your cycles. This place was hard fought for, Sleeper. It took work, diplomacy, and strength to stop the Eye descending into chaos after Solheim collapsed, not blind conviction or self-interest. You're the self-interested one. More accusations. What have you achieved, Sleeper? Your entire existence is proof of your self-interest, signing yourself over to be emulated rather than work yourself. Whether you remember it or not, you suffer from the same short-sighted perspective as the person you were copied from. You see, Sleeper, we are proud of our history here. Andre Erlin and the First Union founded this place, and Havenage has welded his values into the station's very walls. We will never turn away the hard-working, the just, the true citizens of the Eye. Havenage aren't a gang like Yatigan. We aren't pirates like half the spaces you'll meet in the hub, or esoterics like those hyper-radicals in the Greenway. We are the backbone of this place, proud and true. We named Erlin's Eyes, Sleeper. This is our station. He meets your eye, so please, take your false accusations elsewhere before I decide I need that confession after all. History will catch up with you. I'm not afraid of history, Sleeper. We are making it here, cycle by cycle. He smiles. If you have any pride, you'll give up Feng the moment he contacts you. You know where to find me. With that, Harden turns his back and walks back towards the security officers, ordering them to continue the clear out. As they do, something catches your eye among one of the server stacks. A crumpled, hand-printed box of synthetic chewing gum, a penguin character grinning from the brightly coloured card, and scrawled onto it, a speech bubble reading, "Take me to Tambo." You carefully pocket the box, making sure no one is watching, and then turn away, just as another stack of servers is wheeled out of the bay. What have you done, Feng? And where the hell is Tambo? Okay. More and more things. Okay. So Founder's Gap. We need 120 to cross into the Greenway. Okay, so what have we got? We've got the Griot caps, we need one more. We've got the gum box, we've got the imprinted ship mind, and we've got the stabilizer. Okay. Havenage agent. We've got 6 Havenage data. But no one seems to be paying for that yet. So all we can do for now is to end the cycle. I believe we're going to lose one condition. So we should still have 3 dice. So we will wait until the end of the next turn to use the last remaining stabilizer we have. Okay, we got some okay dice there. we should be able to do something with those. What have we got here? Merchant freighter, what can we buy? A shipmine fragment discount. Okay, so we need 3 of those, but we can only buy 2. But they are only here for 3 cycles. Okay, let's put the 4 in. It's now only 32. Interesting. We still need money. Can we do a shift? We can. Okay, let's do a shift. There we go. Good service, and we got 15. The scrap freighter, we could buy some scrap. Yes, we're going to buy some scrap. What have we got? Random scrap allowance. Okay, so now we can go to the Alt Exchange and we can sell the components. We got 12 cryo. Okay. That's probably not the best way of doing that. We need to wait 1 turn for that. Low end. Get some low ender. Okay, let's have a look up here. The free spoke. Okay. It'll rinse our energy. Or import export. We could sell a ship mind, or we could buy a ship mind core, which is why it costs so much. 240. Okay, so we can't do anything there because we don't have the money. But I am going to get the spoke climber. Let's go with the condition, because there we go. So we'll come out of there. We can now ascend to the hub. Okay. So, weightless wanderer and space socializing, both of which we've got a +1 on, and we've got the AE1 mainframe. Let's put the imprinted. Okay. You slip into the cloud as easy as blinking. Navigator is beside you, their sphere casting light into the strange darkness here. This is not how a mainframe should look. A center, a point of connection. The object in front of you is severed, cut off, a rootless, branchless tree, only the trunk remains. Is Killer even here? Quiet! Navigator hisses, and then you see it. Like a blade in the dark, an edge slicing through the void, it glides along at a distance and winks out. Then it appears again, elsewhere, gliding once more, searching. It's looking for us. The moment you make a sound, the edge leaps closer, and you see now, it's not an edge, but the ridge of a long, sharp head like a shark. It glides past, closer now, and you see into the void where its eyes should be. You and Navigator exchange looks, both thinking the same thing. It is blind. Killer crosses between you two, smooth as a razor, then disappears. It flickers back in, further away now, and you move closer to Navigator to talk. You saw it too then. Killer has been blinded. How? Unclear. This protocol has been running for decades, well past its operational limit. Navigator's sons dull as they drop their voice to a whisper. This may give us an advantage over the protocol. You flinch as the silent killer appears closer and glides past you, its empty sockets open wide. You turn to Navigator and notice something strange. The orrery of spheres is collapsing. The orbits, usually round and even, are decaying. The spheres are following spiral paths, condensing on a central point. Navigator is noticing it too. They go to shift their position to better direct the spheres, but they cannot. Whatever is drawing the orrery together is holding them in place. They look at you, suddenly desperate, frantic. It's a trap. You go to speak, but Killer appears between the two of you, gliding through the gap. Navigator freezes, and you see them framed in the empty socket. You realise now, if Navigator cannot move, then it is only a matter of time before one of the killers sweeps brings them directly through Navigator, and time is not a problem for a protocol that has been running for decades. You look desperately around for a solution, for a way to extract Navigator from the mainframe, then you see it. 3 branches. The last 3 thin and spindly, feeding the mainframe a thin diet of power and data. Break these and the mainframe collapses once and for all, severing the connection, shattering the hardware. Whatever it takes, they must be broken. But they are encased in something, a glassy layer of protection. You'll need to unlock access before snapping them from the mainframe for good. You look at Navigator, trying to reassure them without speaking, and then you blink back to reality, their expression of fear, an after-image that slowly fades. You must act quickly. Okay. But I don't have any encrypted keys, so we are up against it. But branch access. Oh, we see. Descent car and branch 3, the hub. And as we have no nothing to go on, we're going to need, we've got no evidence. Yep. So we're going to have to end the cycle, but we're going to have to use our last stabilizer as well. Okay. We must end the cycle. Okay, that's not great, but okay. That's a Havenage agent. Havenage agent. Yataghan agent. Yataghan agent. We have no keynotes. Okay. I mean, it's a source of cryo, but we've got more Havenage data. We can't do that one. Can't do that one either. Oh. 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 Hang on. If we ascend to the hub, we have keynotes. Okay. We have one. Oh no. I'm gonna have to use the 6. A glint. like a light travelling along the edge of a wave fills your eyes. Then the blade follows, a long head with 2 dead sockets, slipping towards you in silence. You freeze, hoping it will pass you by, hoping that it will not simply slice through you like air. The blade head nears, slides past you, almost. It nicks you, grazes you. You are desperate to cry out, to call out, but you hold your silence and simply watch the blind eyes of the killer glide past, empty of all thought. Then the blade winks into the dark and you are alone again. Now you cry out. Okay, so we've lost a condition, but we have 2 keys. Okay. Okay, so that's 2. Okay. Yeah, see, the problem I've got is we lack money. And that's a problem. Oh, yes. Right, let's speak with Sabine. 4 cycles, Sabine said, and here you are, right on time, with no sign of them. You wait a while in the apartment, the dread descending as the cycle spins onward. They should be here. Check the terminal. You check and double the terminal for messages or recordings. Nothing. Just the pale glow, the silence. You pace back and forth around the apartment, the rumbling of the station suddenly so present and loud. You go to the door and open it to an empty corridor. You close it again. You try to settle down, to wait. You sit on the bunk and stare out at the tiny room. Where the hell are they? A knock at the door. Another knock. A figure stands in the door, and immediately you know it's not Sabine. They are taller, sharper, and something in their face glints in the half-light. A dark shape, like a stubby baton, hangs loosely from their hand. Our local sleeper. Good to finally meet you. She steps into the apartment, glancing around with sharp eyes. What, may I ask, are you doing here? She fixes you with a steady, unwavering stare. Waiting for a friend? Of course. A mutual friend of ours, the good doctor. She walks past you into the apartment, glancing around. We set them up here, you know. This place is one of ours. She picks up a glass from the dispenser and inspects it. People always seem to forget who put them where they are. She glances at you. And I suppose you're here to help? Where are they? I was hoping you would be able to help with that. She spins the baton in her fingers by her side, her eyes not leaving yours. We have a problem, you and I. It seems our friend has disappeared, left without even saying goodbye, which means they are in a little trouble now. But it's the kind of trouble that you need help for, so I thought I'd come down here and take a look at their little hidey hole. And here you are, the help. She looks through the detritus on the side. And what help? A sleeper, no less. Which I have to admit is a little surprising. It suggests to me that our friend hasn't been very honest with you either. She looks away. I know it won't be welcome news, but I'm sorry to report that before we got them set up here, Sabine was working for your owners. She pauses. S&R. You blink hard at the news, unsure how to take it. Rabia looks away, waiting for a response. She crosses into the next room and you follow silently. She sits at the terminal and touches her baton to one of the access ports. A spark, then the terminal screen skips encrypted folders, emptying themselves before your eyes. In the flicker of the files you see S&ARP letterheads and code forms, reports laden with medical data marked with the corporate logo, like the sigil of some cult. Rabia steps away from the terminal. Look all you want. Some of the files may even be there. Some of your files may even be there. The volume of documents is overwhelming, but they seem to be mostly reports on early emulation tests, surveys with sleeper candidates, reams and reams of usage data. If Sabine was an S&ARP employee, why did they help you? Rabia reaches over and places a vial of stabilizer on the desk, breaking your concentration. It shimmers in the screen light, its viscous clear liquid crystalline within the glass. We will of course keep up the supply. We are more than able to dispense important medicines even without the doctor. You hold it between your fingers, and for a tiny moment you have the urge to crush this object for the power it has over you. I'll ask Toshiro to make those a little cheaper for you. He'll be running the surgery now. Rabia closes up the briefcase lab and holds it at her side. We have to retrieve our assets, of course, but I'm sure you understand. Rabia turns on her way out. There is no reason for us to be enemies, Sleeper. Come see me. I keep an office nearby. We have good work to do, you and I. Meet me there in a few cycles. She slips out silently into the corridor. You look around the apartment and feel the fear drain out of your body to reveal the tiredness beneath. Ooh, well. That came at just the right time. So we've got 2 cycles to wait for that. We have 2 dice. Right. Which puts us on a 1. I'm not going to do that. But I am going to do that. Okay. That's not great. Okay. Okay, the Yatigan dispensary, 64 cryo. Puke. Okay, the fabricator, 3 ship mines, but we don't have that. I mean, more cryo is more cryo, but... Okay. Right. We shall end the cycle. Okay, how are we for dice? Those are rubbish dice. However, there is something we need to do that's more important than anything else. We need this. Okay. We can then put the key in here. Okay. And now we can access the mainframe. Oh no. Oh, catch a killer, -1 condition. Okay, so we've got 2 choices. One we have an advantage over. I mean, if we put a 3 in. Ooh. And the last 2. Oh. Do you know what? I'm going to risk it for a biscuit. Nah, that's not great. We do have an upgrade point. Okay, so... Reroll all of your dice once per cycle. I'm not going to go for that. I am going to go for engineer. Okay. And that is all we can do. We have... We have next to nothing. Right, let's just see how much a ration gives us. It gives us 2. Okay. But that is all we can do. So we will end the cycle. We're down to 4 dice. But that is all we can do. Doxy 4. We're waiting. No, I don't want the bar shift. Dock B2. We're waiting on that as well. Okay. Right. I'm going to use that to get energy back. Even though we need to finish. We have Rabia to speak to. But we need to come up here. Okay, that is where we're going to end this episode. I appreciate you hanging out. Thank you very much. If you have enjoyed the episode, then I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like on it. Let me know what you think what you think of the series so far down in the comments. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, ticking the bell so you know when new videos go live. I do try and get videos up every single day. In the description is a link to the channel Discord. Feel free to come and talk about the games you're playing, the games I'm playing, games in general. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.